I was the brother everyone trusted with money. The successful software engineer, the smart one. When I lost $85,000 to a scam, I didn't just lose savings. I lost the one thing I never questioned, my own judgment. The investment opportunity looked so legitimate. Professional website, real-looking documents, testimonials from people who seemed genuine. I researched for weeks before investing. That's what makes me angriest. I wasn't careless. I was fooled. My wife asked if I was sure about the investment. I showed her all my research. She trusted me completely because I'd never been wrong about money before. That trust makes the shame so much heavier. My older brother heard about the investment and wanted in too. I told him to wait until I saw returns. Thank God he listened. At least only one of us lost everything. The first withdrawal went smoothly. I took out $5,000 just to test it. The money arrived in 3 days. I felt so smart, so validated. That's exactly how they get you. I invested more, then more. Each time, the returns looked amazing on screen. But when I tried to withdraw a larger amount, suddenly there were problems. Fees, processing delays, tax requirements. All lies. I spent hours on the phone with their customer service. Everyone was so polite, so helpful, so full of excuses. Looking back, I can't believe I didn't see it. But when you want something to be real, you ignore so much. Then one morning, the website was gone. Just a domain for sale page where my life savings used to be. I stared at the screen for an hour, unable to move, unable to breathe, unable to accept reality. Telling my wife was the hardest conversation of my life. She didn't get angry. She didn't cry. She just sat there quietly, processing that our future had changed in an instant. Her calm was devastating. My brother came over when he heard. He didn't say, "I told you so," because he hadn't warned me. He'd trusted me too. He just sat with me in silence, which was exactly what I needed. I couldn't make decisions anymore. What to eat for dinner felt impossible. If I was so wrong about something I researched for weeks, how could I trust myself about anything? The paralysis was real. I stopped checking our bank accounts entirely. My wife had to handle all the finances. Every time I looked at numbers, I felt sick. The thing I used to be best at now made me nauseous. My wife found Grace, a financial recovery coach who specialized in scam survivors. I didn't want to go. Talking about my failure felt worse than living with it. But my wife made the appointment anyway. Grace didn't talk about money in our first session. She talked about shame. The scam took your confidence, she said. We need to rebuild that before we rebuild your savings. She was right. She had me list every good financial decision I'd ever made. Buying our first home, saving for years, paying off student loans early. The list was long, but I'd forgotten all of it. Shame has a way of erasing memory. Grace taught me that smart people get scammed all the time. Scammers don't target stupid people. They target trusting people, lonely people, hopeful people. Being fooled doesn't make you dumb. It makes you human. We started small with rebuilding. A $50 automatic transfer to savings every week. It felt pointless after losing so much. But Grace said small wins would rebuild my confidence faster than big risky moves. The first month, I saved $200. It wasn't much, but watching that number grow without losing it felt like proof I could do this. Small win. First step. Confidence starting to return. My wife started including me in financial decisions again. Small ones at first, grocery budgets, utility payments. Each time I made a good call, I felt a tiny piece of myself coming back. I found an investment forum for scam survivors. Reading other people's stories helped more than I expected. I wasn't alone. These weren't stupid people. They were doctors, lawyers, engineers. Just like me. A year after the scam, I'd saved $15,000. It was slow, boring, and completely safe. No get-rich-quick promises, no sleepless nights checking prices. Just steady progress I could actually trust. My brother asked me to look at an investment he was considering. The old me would have jumped in. Instead, I researched carefully and found red flags. I saved him from making my mistake. That felt like redemption. Grace asked me to speak at one of her recovery workshops. I was terrified, but when I finished telling my story, people came up to thank me. My shame had become someone else's warning. That changed everything. 2 years after the scam, I'd saved $40,000. Not back to where I was, but close. More importantly, I could look at myself in the mirror again. The man staring back didn't look like a failure anymore. My wife and I started planning for the future again. Not just surviving, but thriving. We talked about retirement, about travel, about things we'd stopped allowing ourselves to dream. Hope felt different now, safer somehow. I started a small investment account for our nephew. Teaching him about slow, safe investing felt like protecting him from the mistake I made. Every dollar I helped him save was a dollar of redemption. 3 years after the scam, I'd saved back every dollar I lost, plus interest. My wife cried when I showed her the balance. Not from relief this time, from pride in how hard we'd worked to get here. Grace retired and asked me to take over some of her coaching clients. Me, who couldn't make a grocery decision 2 years ago. She saw something in me I couldn't see in myself. I said yes. My first client was a woman who'd lost everything to a romance scam. She couldn't look me in the eye. I knew exactly how she felt. We spent our first session just talking about shame, not money. When she finally looked at me and said, "I'm not stupid, am I?" I told her what Grace told me. "You're human. You want a connection." They exploited that. Watching her shoulders relax was everything. My brother and I started a monthly financial check-in together. We review each other's investments, look for red flags, keep each other honest. The scam made us closer, not further apart. I finally told my parents about the scam. They were disappointed, but grateful I was okay. My mother said something I'll never forget. "Money comes back. Your confidence matters more." She was right. The man who lost his confidence learned that trusting yourself doesn't mean being right every time. It means being wrong, learning from it, and still believing you can make good decisions. That's real confidence. I still get nervous about big financial decisions. That's not weakness anymore. That's wisdom. The scam taught me to pause, to research, to trust, but verify. Caution isn't fear. It's experience. My wife and I bought a small rental property together. Our first joint investment since the scam. Signing the papers felt terrifying and wonderful at the same time. We were trusting ourselves again. I still think about the scam sometimes. Not with shame anymore. With gratitude. Losing that money taught me what really matters. My marriage, my family, my ability to get back up after falling down. The scam didn't just take my money, but it didn't destroy me either. It broke something that needed breaking, my illusion that I was invincible, that I couldn't be fooled. Real strength comes from knowing your vulnerabilities. Now when someone offers me an investment that seems too good to be true, I walk away without hesitation. Not because I'm scared, but because I finally understand that real wealth isn't built on shortcuts. It's built on steady work, patient saving, and trusting the process, not the promise.